Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video and Merry Christmas to everyone. Today I have a special message for the upcoming full moon coming up on December 26th. And this one is quite potent when it comes to emotions. It's quite emotional. It's coming in the zodiac sign of Cancer, and as we know, Cancer is this really emotional, nurturing, deeply intuitive, and it has a strong imagination. So it's bringing us a potent energy that may help us to not just to feel our emotions, but also to release them and to connect to the miraculous tone that is very present right now. So it's the strongest time of the year when it comes to miracles and surrendering ourselves to the unknown. But before we start, I want to invite you into a giveaway we are running on our Instagram page, I Draw My Passion. The link is also in the description of this video, where you can win a free print of the painting called the Spirit Guide. So go there and check it out. It's very easy to enter. And also check out our Attract Passion page, where you can find daily messages, daily inspiration, and of course also check out our Patreon page, Patreon community. Feel free to join us there. And now let's go on with the message. I want to make this message more poetic because it's just more poetic time right now. That's how I feel. And the theme for this full moon is that if you let your learning lead to action, you will become the change that your higher self has been planting. Which basically means that if you're able to see what this year has been teaching you, you will notice that all the events that unfolded in your life were seeds from your higher self to see the lessons in whatever happened. And if you're able to see what events taught you, you will never be the same. You will find your soul in what happened. You will be easily able to transmute hurts into a certain process of release. And you will be able to see others for who they truly are, not for who they are pretending to be. So I want to give you 5 things to focus on during this full moon, and I hope this message can help you to navigate yourself through this unique time and make the most out of what has been offered to you at this time. So the first thing is to tap into your intuition right now. There's some wisdom in the words of Khalil Gibran. He's the author of the book The Prophet, which carries within a great amount of wisdom. He said that your hearts know in silence the secrets of the days and the nights, but your ears thirst for the sound of your heart's knowledge. He said by that we all have this deep inner knowing, but we rather crave to hear it in words, usually by someone else. So I want to remind you that you already have all the answers. And if you meditate a little bit more, if especially at the times of sorrow, at the times of deep pain, deep hurts, or at the times of feeling overwhelmed, rather slow down and ask your intuition what you need right now, or what you need to know, or maybe you don't need anything. And just be okay with not needing anything. Just actually embrace this state of not needing to have an intention, not needing to think, not needing to feel anything special, but just to be. And see what your intuition has to say. Just a simple reminder to in tune with your intuition right now, because it may speak really, really beautifully. So pay attention to it. The second thing I want to give you for now is to surrender your feelings. Let go and give space to a miracle. Again, Khalil Gibran said, your joy is your sorrow unmasked, which basically means that when you look deep into the eyes of your sorrows, you will find the beauty. You will find there's something that you've been hiding from. and there's no need to hide from it anymore. You will recognize that it's just what makes you you, right? You may be more emotionally sensitive. You may be more easily overwhelmed. You may be different than others, because you are. You may recognize you're the one that doesn't belong into the programs of society, or however you want to describe it. And it may be a cause of being in sorrow. But as soon as you acknowledge it, and you surrender this sorrow by saying, well, I'm completely okay with feeling that. I'm completely okay if my life right now is falling apart. I'm completely okay if I've lost that person. I'm completely okay with whatever happened. You will surrender whatever feeling has been anchoring you into a certain pain. And that's how you create space for miracles. You will notice that sometimes you actually don't need to do anything else but just to let go. And to many people, letting go is something really complicated, while actually it's not complicated at all. It's just an act of acceptance and not needing to do anything. Just being okay. Not being attached to any idea, to any feeling, to any emotion. Just allowing everything to move through you like a water. Like you would be standing in a river, not being attached to the water, just allowing it to flow through you. And that's how you give space to miracles. Sometimes I just say, well, I'm surrendering everything. And then I go and enjoy my life. And I know it's easy to say that, but sometimes we really, really need to just to surrender. Just to say, well, I don't need to do anything right now. The third thing is to be vulnerable, to talk about what you feel, to write about what you feel, to meditate on it, and to just be. Again, Khalil Gibran said, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Do you feel that? Be vulnerable, my friend, because sometimes being strong doesn't work. We have phases where we truly aim towards being strong, right? And we need to be. Sometimes we just need to be. Sometimes we find ourselves being the only ones that can resolve something. Often it happens that way. But then there are periods where we just need to talk about our pain, our sorrows, our weaknesses, and actually enlighten them with our understanding, with our awareness, and just notice, well, we don't need to be perfect. I have this principle for myself that says it's better to do than to be perfect. It's better to do than to be perfect, because it's reminding me that anything I do is completely okay if I just do it. Sometimes I make a video that at the end I don't completely like it. Sometimes I say, well, here I could use better words. Here I couldn't find the right word to express this feeling or to express this understanding. So it's not okay, or it's not good enough. But then this other part of me says, well, you've done it. You've done it. Isn't it okay? The next time you can do it better. So after the work is done, leave it and move to the next one. This is my principle that helps me to not always be so perfectionist minded. Because I'm a Virgo, and Virgos are quite perfectionists. But many of us are, so just remind yourself that it's completely okay to be vulnerable. Actually, perfectionism is this coping mechanism for us to not be exposed to our weaknesses. But actually, through exposing ourselves to our weaknesses, we perfect our soul. Isn't that so? So out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. So that's where we acknowledge our scars and we start loving them because they made us who we are. They taught us what we know today, and they helped us to become who we needed to be of service to those who need us, right? So appreciate yourself a little bit more, my friend, because you deserve your appreciation. You deserve to be seen by you firstly for who you are. The way you are, not the way you want to be, but the way you are right now. You will never become who you want to be if you don't accept who you are right now. By accepting who you are right now, you will reveal to yourself who you can become. So just know that. The fourth reminder I want to give you is that your pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. When you understand your pain, you can transmute it into the process. In psychology, there's a saying that there are three main reasons for any emotional pain. The first is loss, when we think we've lost something and when we believe we've lost something. The second one is when we think we have less than we should have. And the third one is that we think it will never happen. We think it will never happen because we don't deserve it or because we're not good enough or whatever. So once we take care of these three main important reminders, loss, less, never, we recognize, well, I've never lost anything. I've just let go of what used to be present in my life so I can give space to something new. I'm not attached to what I had because I'm open for what's coming. I don't have less than I should have. I have exactly what I need to have. I have exactly what I need to have right now. I'm okay. And once we accept what we have, we can create more out of it, right? We can recognize that as soon as we stop reacting to what's happening, we open up to our creative capacities, and then we can see a magic in little things and we can use them to make more magic out of it, right? So a lesson for me was when I've started painting that out of a blank canvas you can create something that people truly appreciate. Blank canvas is for many people something completely unvaluable, nothing special. But you can make it special with your creative imagination. So rather than focusing on what's less than it should be, try to see what it is offering you. How can you use it to create more beauty in your life, to create more joy in your life? And the never ingredient, when you think it will never happen, it's just because you don't believe it's possible for you. And as long as you believe it's not possible for you, you will not be able to experience it. You're actually pushing it away. So rather than thinking it will never happen, think about how excited you are for it to happen. But this excitement shouldn't be a reason to wait it to happen. It should be a reason to act for it so we can make it happen. To act on it, to work on it. Again, as Khalil Gibran said, work is love made visible. And for Cancer sign, it's something they just immerse themselves into it. They often do what they love, because that's where they experience this sense of being themselves. And this full moon is only reminding us to pay more attention to what we truly love to do. And because all of us are carrying certain pain within ourselves, we need to recognize that our pain is truly breaking of the shell that encloses our understanding. So once we understand our pain, we can truly transmute it into the process. We can recognize that whoever hurt you, you've learned something how not to treat others. If you've been scammed, for example, financially, you will most probably not be scammed anymore because you've learned something new, and therefore you will be more careful. That's the only purpose of pain. Only to teach you what not to repeat anymore. And that's the understanding of pain, to recognize what not to do anymore. And the fifth thing, generous kindness. As I said, work is love made visible. Generosity is giving more than you can, while pride is taking more than you need. So be generous. Right now we are in the season of generosity, the Christmas time, right? Giving gifts, helping others, helping those in need, doing charity work, or wherever we find ourselves gracefully doing what's sometimes needed or what we feel called to do intuitively. I want to remind you of this generous kindness. 2 days ago I've shared with you a practice on our Instagram community which may take you 10 seconds or maybe 1 minute. When you close your eyes and think about one person that comes into your mind, or maybe two, and just say to yourself silently, I wish that person to be happy. And then you can set reminders for each hour in a day. Anytime you get this reminder, you close your eyes and just wish someone to be happy. There's many stories of people who suddenly start to feel much lighter and better when they've started sharing their kindness. Because sometimes we think that the act of kindness is only when we physically go to someone and help them, and some people just can't find a way to do something like that, so they feel like they can't help anyone. But even a send of some gentle thoughts can be a great help. It's more like an etheric help, right? But it still works. If not for others, it opens your heart. And that opening of your heart may initiate a new path for you. So practice some generous kindness during this time, because often it's associated with great manifestation. Every time we become more generous, we open up to some new possibilities, new miracles. Because we don't do it to get something in return. We do it because we love to do it. We do it because that's where we experience the most of our nature, right? And now I also want to give you 3 additional tips for this astrological period. The first one is to be mindful of your spending. As the sun right now is in Capricorn, it just entered into the Capricorn, while the full moon will be in Cancer. Capricorn is often associated with financial stability. So this is a great time to be mindful of your spending habits and to make sure you're not overspending. Just be mindful so you're not so impulsive around it. The second thing is to don't be afraid to ask for help. Cancer is a sign of nurturing and support. So this is a great time to ask for help from loved ones or from maybe some professional resources like therapy or someone who can really help you on whatever you're going through. Just, reflect on this a little bit. I know I always thought I can do everything alone until I've started connecting with others and I've recognized, my life became so fluid when I actually asked for help. When I can actually surrender parts of my job to someone else. For example, when we've started selling my work, my artwork, at the beginning we were doing everything alone, packaging, shipping, everything. Until at some point we've recognized it's too much of it, I'm wasting too much of my energy here. So we found a team of people who are doing the work, a company who's doing that. We've teamed up and suddenly I felt much lighter. We've asked them for help, for support, and now they're doing it much better than we ever could. And I've experienced this great release. Oh, it's much easier when we actually ask for help, when we actually find someone who can do what we're not so good at, and they can do it much, much better. So whatever it is, it may be something emotional, it may be something psychological, it may be something physical, like a diet plan or a workout routine, or whatever it is, think about it and ask for help. And the third thing is to be patient with yourself, my friend. Change takes time. This year was turbulent for many of us. How I've experienced it, the beginning of the year, or first 6 months, was more spiritual for me. I was doing deep spiritual researches. I was meditating a lot, and I felt I needed that. But then towards the end of the year, it became much more physical. I became more focused on integration of everything that I've learned, and the dots started coming together, and all the plans that I have for the future and the vision that I have for the future, where I want to take my art and how we want to evolve our business and everything. The right people started coming into my life in December, and I've started seeing how the dots are slowly connecting. But everything takes much more time than often we think it will. So be patient with yourself and allow everything to unfold naturally. If it feels hard for you, have this affirmation for yourself: I allow everything to unfold naturally, as it should. Ancient alchemists often had this saying that you don't need to manipulate your reality. You actually need to let it unfold naturally and learn from what's happening. Because that's how you will discover your inner blocks, your emotional blocks, the triggers that activate your sorrow. And if you're able to learn from it and to release these blocks, you will naturally experience a life of abundance, a life of bliss, a life of blessings. So sure, I love this process of manifestation where you're visualizing and feeling your future, but then I also love to see everything to unfold naturally. So I like both the parts of the process of creation, but we need to know when to use one and when to use the another. When any manifestation process doesn't resonate with us, it's a time where we just need to allow everything to unfold naturally. And when we think there's no progress, we are not breaking through what we would like, then use some visualization. And make sure you also use a certain act of service. That's the easiest way, I think, to raise our energy, when we help someone. When what we want to visualize, we also become a part of it in action. So reflect on this a little bit. And again, I'm wishing you all a beautiful Merry Christmas. Have a beautiful celebration. Firstly, within yourself, with your spirit. Allow yourself to emerge with your higher self. Through your intuition, whatever you feel that is necessary right now, do it. And reflect a little bit also on where you're going, where this life is taking you, and how you want your future to unfold. Because it's as I said, it's a very miraculous time right now, so be open for unexpected miracles. And I hope you've enjoyed in today's message. I hope you've enjoyed in today's artwork. Thanks to all of you for supporting my art. In our Etsy store, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. I love you all, my friends. Thanks for your support. And I also want to remind you, we're running a giveaway on our Instagram page, I Draw My Passion, so go there, check it out. Also check out Attract Passion Instagram page, where you can find daily inspiring quotes, messages for you every single day. You find one, so check it out. Thank you so much. Until next time, one love.